we can see that much of the process was by word of mouth, and many Christians were certainly not from the learned world. Large numbers were slaves. But we can also see that one of the most regular ways was opening a school. Christianity was, in Hellenistic terms, a philosophical school. And someone like Justin can do what philosophers usually do: teach. Inquirers can come to them, and he brings the Christian scriptures into connection with the rest of Greek philosophical literature. Now, I mention that as one thing which is happening in the crossing of the first cultural frontier. You're getting the crossing of the intellectual frontiers. And it's happening to people like Justin, who then take the indigenous method of the philosophical school and develop it as a means by which they preach the gospel, you might say. Just one thing more about Justin. I'm talking much more about this than I meant to. But one of the other things that Justin is dealing with. If you're a Christian, and if you were brought up on the Greek classics, what did you do with the Greek classics now? Do they have nothing to do with your Christian life? Have you passed to another sort of life where you give up that reading and concentrate perhaps on the scriptures alone? Or is there some way by which the two still belong together? Justin clearly wrestles with this at great depth. And incidentally, if you want to see the relevance of this to our concerns, read Kwame Bediako's Theology and Identity. A big book, some years old now. A book with two subjects. One is the 2nd century Greek writers, Greek Christian writers. The other, 20th century African theologians. And Bediako argues that, in fact, the subject matter of the two is the same. That both 2nd century Greek writers and 20th century African writers are looking for where God was in their own past. What was God doing in the Greek past? Paul tells us what he's doing in the Hebrew past. The missionaries tell us what he's doing in the Hebrew past. What was God doing in the Greek past? And 20th century African theologians are asking, what was God doing in the African past? the publishing history is really quite interesting, because the book went to several publishers who, one university press came back and said, this is very good, but this is really 2 books. And clearly what had happened is that one had gone to their theology editor and one had gone to their Africa editor. Both liked it, but didn't see that it was a single book. That this is a book about Christianity and culture. But this, and questions about culture are questions about our past. How do we relate to our past? Justin is all about how to relate to the past. And he finds the key to his quest in this word in the 4th Gospel prologue, Logos. Logos, we all know, means word. It also means reason. The method by which philosophers operate. What do you mean when you say the Word was with God, was God? What do you mean when you say through the Word was made? That the Word lightens everyone who comes into the world. One of the schools in which Justin had been reading, the Stoic school, spoke of a logos spermatikos, a seed-bearing word from which the whole world had arisen. And this begins to come together for Justin. Christ is the seed-bearing word through which the whole world comes into being, through which the world is made. This is how creation, this very difficult idea of creation, this is what happens. But we've got to know that the logos spermatikos is the one that we meet in the Gospels as Jesus, the one who fulfills the prophets that we've seen in this literature, which is older than the Greek literature. He seizes on this, and it gives him other ideas. If this logos, which remember is both word and reason, and is to be identified with the pre-incarnate Christ, if this logos is the principle from which the world originated, then he was active. The logos was active throughout history. And whenever one of the ancient philosophers gets it right, he is speaking according to logos, which is both small l, logos, reason, according to reason, but also the capital L logos, according to the logos spermatikos, the eternal generative principle, who becomes incarnate in Christ. And that enables him to explain some other things. How is it that Socrates could be so right about the gods of popular religion? And Socrates was put to death as an atheist because he didn't believe in the gods of popular religion. Christians are called atheists for the same reason. They reject the temple gods. Logos gives Justin a principle by which he can critique his inheritors. All the great people of the past, he says, are ours. And as far as they spoke according to reason, they spoke according to the reason, Logos. And in that sense, they were Christians before Christ. They were partaking of the Logos. In other words, God is active in the Greek past, making himself known, not leaving himself without witness. And with the principles which he now has acquired from the scriptures, he has a key by which he doesn't have to throw away the whole of his past. He has a key by which to critique it, by which to hold on to things, to reject things, to modify things.